Good evening. Andy Rice in Stanford, Texas. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I wish the weather would make its mind up. I have a hard enough time making decisions. I got to get up every day and decide which hat I'm going to wear, whether it's going to be a straw hat or a felt hat, and 60 degrees or 80 degrees or 90 degrees. Uh, got to get frustrated. And speaking of frustration, tonight's poem is about pride and anger and pride. And pride comes from frustration, anger comes from frustration. And I've sure screwed up a lot of things because of those two words, pride and anger. And how I came about this, I didn't come about this on my own. Before I do tonight's poem, I'll tell you a couple of backstories. But I'm sitting with my wife last night having a cocktail, and we got the dogs in there with us, and I'm ranting and raving. I'm mad, and over a lot of things, I'm just going through a whole plethora of topics, whether it be TikTok, whether it be banks, whether it be financing, whether it be the cost of replacement heifers, can't afford them anymore because they've just blown up, whatever. Well, my wife, whether she knew she was doing it or not, I'm pretty sure she did. She looks over at me and gives me that sideways glance. I've seen that sideways glance before. And I've been keeping tallies every time she gives me that sideways glance. She gave me that sideways glance that says, you're going a little overboard and you're acting like an idiot. And I just told you I kept tabs. And every time that she gave me that sideways glance, that woman was right. Boy, as much as I hate to say it, that woman was right. So that reminded me last night after I was drinking cocktails and mad at TikTok and banks and price replacement heifers and, I don't know, everything, just doing a typical tangent. That reminded me I'd written this poem a while back after she'd given me one of those glances. And here it is. Tonight's poem's called Timepiece. If I could turn back the hands of this old wristwatch and sure make things right, I probably wouldn't have drank so much, always looking for a fight. Boys, I've broken a few hearts and had mine broken too. True love's hard to come by. Back then I didn't have a clue. Money was easy come and easy go, burnt fast like wheat field fires. Now I'm just stuck with a old body that easily tires. I spurned friendships from pards who cared and offered it most. Too prideful, I up and ran away like I'd seen a ghost. Children, horses, and good dogs, my patience back then seems to always run thin. Couldn't see happiness right in front of me, one of my greatest sins. The world was an oyster that I never shucked just right. Pretty handy, I never gave much thought to any guiding light. I've tried to turn back time, this old dial will never backwards roll. Boys, the hands of time are forever and can lay heavy on your soul. So, you young hands take it from me about what time will tell. Love hard that woman and all around you, or later life will be a living hell. Have a good evening, fellas. Thanks for following.